going on, Eagles fans? It's your boy Sal G. And the Eagles just came off a very impressive win in Cincinnati against the Bengals, Joe Burrow's team, Joe Cool, Cody Rhodes, whoever he is, whoever that team is, supposed to be a pretty good team. But the Eagles went in there, took care of business, won handedly, 37-17 on the strength of running that football, Jalen Hurts, and some timely plays. So give it up for the Eagles. I think the Eagles have figured out their identity, which kind of wish they figured it out a few weeks ago. Better late than never. This is a run first team. Establish the run. You have a workhorse running back you brought in from the Giants who didn't want to pay the man. And fans can get mad at Saquon all they want, but it's not Barkley's fault. The man just wanted to be wanted somewhere, and the Giants front office didn't want to sign him. So blame the Giants. Saquon haters. Burn his jersey. Burn effigies of the front office personnel, because that's whose fault it is that they didn't keep Saquon Barkley. And their loss is our gain. Thank goodness we have Saquon. It seems to be the piece to what this team needs. Jalen Hurts has his limitations, but he has his strengths. And this team has their limitations. They also have their strengths. Play to their strengths. The coaching staff on this team, Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, play to this team's offensive strengths. The offensive strengths are your tush push, Jalen Hurts using his legs, scoring rushing touchdowns, and using Saquon Barkley, run him into the ground. He could take it. He's a big boy. Run him into the ground. Today, he went over 100 yards, 22 carries, 108 yards with a long of 19. And that 19-yard run was a typical Saquon run where he's just bulldozing through the secondary of the opponent there. And it was great to see. So, again, getting ahead of myself, Sal G here with you on the Hardcore Sports Network. This is the Eagles Landing Zone, Eagles post-game show. Happy to have you with us today. This is the first show I've done for Hardcore Sports Network. Hope it's the first of many. I'm happy to be here. Got my Eagles shirt on. This is the Kelsey Mummer shirt, classic. I know we're getting a little burnout with the Kelsey, the Kelsey. There's too much Kelsey. I know he's in every commercial. He's on every TV channel. He's on the football shows. He's everywhere. I love the guy. I can use a little bit less of Jason Kelsey. I don't need my cereal commercials, with him and his brother in them. But I digress. Great win for the Phillies. For the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, 37-17, improved to 5-2 with the win. Coming into this game, I had my doubts about this team. I was not sure if they were more than a 500 team, and now we got the lopsided schedule, the lopsided season. Everybody plays 17 games, so you're really going to get 500 on the nose. But I looked at it as like a 9-8 team. And after their win today, convincing win, I have 11 wins. I don't know if this is a Super Bowl team. I'm not sure. But if the Eagles and the coaching staff keep doing stuff like this, running the football, play smash mouth, let your defense make some plays. You never know. They could be a surprise. So I actually have them now as an 11-win team. Is an 11-win team good enough to win the Super Bowl? We'll see. I mean, playoff team for sure. We'll see. What are your all thoughts? Curious to see what you all think. Please make sure you throw up a like for your boy here. Share the Hardcore Sports Network. Share this. this program with all your friends and subscribe. Please let everybody know about the Eagles landing zone. The Eagle has landed here on the Hardcore Sports Network, and I'm here to take you through that ride today. Checking out the comments. My man Adam checking in. What's going on, Adam? Said, what's up, Sal? Great game all around. Sure was. It sure was at home. My boy Mitch. Mitch with the wrench. The utility, the utility man. But Mitch could do it all. Hardcore Sports Network. Let's go, Birds. What's going on, Mitch? Big win today. It's nice, man. It's nice to get a win. It's nice to get a convincing win, a solid win on the road. I mean, you didn't just eke out this win. You crushed the Bengals. And man, I'm afraid they're back to the Bungles. And I know Cincinnati fans hate to hear that. Cincinnati with today's loss, they're 3-5. Are they a playoff team? I wonder. Now, granted, Cincinnati had some injuries there. Lost T. Higgins. Big loss for them. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, that dynamic duo for the Cincinnati Bengals, coming into this game tied for the most receiving touchdowns by a teammate duo. And who is that teammate duo? Oh, it's A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't get it twisted, guys. So T. Higgins not being in was a big loss today. Here's a weakness for the Bengals. They cannot run the football. They have Chase Brown. By the way, Chase Brown and then Sidney Brown of the Eagles are identical twins. I was surprised to hear this. The first time in NFL history that identical twins squared off against each other in an NFL game. But shocked to see that because I know if there was Rondé Barber, Tiki Barber, I thought they might have played against each other once. And then you have the McCourty brothers. Is it Jason's one of them? Is the other one Devin? But anyway, they both played for the Patriots at one time. But I thought, they might have played against each other, but no. Sidney Brown and Chase Brown, your first identical twin in the NFL to ever play against each other. They did not have a play against each other. Sidney Brown did not have an opportunity to make a play on his brother, tackle his brother, hit his brother, probably all for the best. Nobody wants to do that, right? You don't want to go ahead and give your brother there a tough shot on the football field, on the gridiron. But I'm going back here. I got a lot of notes about the game. Yeah, so we're going back to Sidney Brown. We're talking about the Bengals losing T. Higgins. Big loss for them. But the Eagles have some issues of their own, particularly on the offensive line. So no Jordan Mailata, no Mekhi Becton. No problem for the Eagles. Plug and play at the offensive line. That is one of the strengths of the Eagles. And losing Mailata was huge. I didn't know what it was going to do for this team. And the team was able to win 2 games now in a row without Jordan Mailata. Your left tackle, I think he's one of the best in football. And Mekhi Becton, no slouch either. So you didn't have him. Didn't matter. I mean, the Eagles steamrolled the Bengals. Again, 37-17. Over under this game was 47.5. They crushed that with 54 points. And the Eagles covered the spread at -2.5. It was nice to see. So let's break it down here. Coming into this game, both teams won 2 straight against the Giants and Browns. Yes, both teams, both the Eagles and the Bengals have played the Giants and the Browns in the past 2 weeks. Both of them. It's pretty neat. Eagles played the Giants last week. That was the Saquon Barkley homecoming revenge game. The Bengals played the Browns last week. Previous week, they played the Giants. Yes, the Giants and the Browns are not good teams. Again, going back to Cincinnati shortcomings, they cannot run the football. Chase Brown, he got a rushing touchdown here. He went 12 for 32. And his other counterpart, Zach Moss, didn't fare much better. He only went 5 for 11 in this one. Bengals are tied coming into this game for 28th in the NFL in rushing. But coming into the game, they were 8th in the league in passing. And you didn't see much of a passing effort from the Bengals in this one. Joe Burrow, 26 of 37, 234 yards passing, one touchdown, one interception. Not really a good game. In total, the Bengals had was showing here 222 passing yards from the Bengals. Eagles had 236 passing yards. I don't know how that happened. Someone else must have had a pass or something for the Bengals. Rushing yards. Here's where it gets crazy here. Eagles had 161 combined rushing to Cincinnati's 58. So total yards 397 for the Birds, 280 for the Bengals. And again, give it up for Jalen Hurts. No turnovers now for Hurts in his last 3 games. Prior to that, 4 interceptions and 5 fumbles, losing 3 of them. So it's nice to see this improved play by Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, another thing I saw, he was throwing in the middle of the field. It was a revelation here. So I'm glad he's working on that because for whatever reason, that is tough for him to do is throw into the middle of the field. But we got receivers here. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and we'll talk about Devontae Smith, man, because he had an unbelievable play on a YOLO ball by Hurts where it was just Devontae just scooped it out of the air, went up high for it. Beautiful play. Great to see. A.J. Brown, beast. I mean, you can't cover these guys, but for whatever reason, Jalen Hurts can't use the middle of the field. But today he was using it. He was throwing passes in the middle of the field to A.J. Brown, who, by the way, is a nice middle of the field target. He is a big, bulky, huge receiver. Throw it to him. And Grant Calcaterra, is he better than Dallas Goedert? I'm thinking he is. I'm thinking he is. He made some plays in the middle of the field. So it was nice to see from Jalen Hurts. Bengals, they ranked 21st against the pass coming into this game. I mean, and Jalen Hurts didn't light up the world passing. He only had 236 yards, but he only threw 20 passes, and he was 16 of 20 with the one touchdown. That YOLO ball to Devontae Smith. So this was the first win for the Eagles against the Bengals since 2000. We have to go all the way back there. The Eagles had lost 5 straight to the Bengals until today's win. The last win going back to Donovan McNabb, and that team. Veteran Stadium was there at the time. The last win for the Eagles against the Bengals. So nice to see them break that streak here. For Saquon Barkley, this was his 5th game. Well, now it's his 6th game this season with over 100 yards, scrimmage yards. It's most in the NFL. So entering week 8, he's most in the NFL. And he was 2nd in scrimmage yards this season with 761. So that number went up. Maybe he's at number 1. Maybe still at 2. He definitely didn't go down. It's still a concerning trend for the Eagles. Anybody else concerned about this too? Eagles are still the only team in the NFL to not score a point in the first quarter. I don't know what it is. The reverse to a points. Sirianni doesn't like to kick field goals. I don't know what it is, man. But you want to get off. You want to score early. Just set the tone, right? It didn't matter here. 37 points. It didn't even matter if the Eagles didn't even score. Hurts has 23 rushing touchdowns since 2023. That's a huge number. We'll go as far as Jalen Hurts' legs can take us. He can run the football. He can squat 600 pounds. He can score those 1-yard touchdown runs on those tush push. But if Jalen loses those legs, it's where things get a little dicey because I don't know if his passing game is where his, elite foot game is at. Eagles, let's see, let's break down the scoring here in this game. So, to start it off, the Bengals scored a touchdown first to Jamar Chase. in the first quarter. Jamar Chase had a 2-yard touchdown, and that was a 17-play, 70-yard drive that lasted 10 minutes for the Bengals. So that took up a lot of the clock in that quarter there. Eagles came right back, though. Right back with a field goal. That's the field goal we could have used in the first quarter. Jake Elliott got a 39-yard field goal, and then it made it a 7-3 Bengals lead. And then the Eagles came right back up and tied it up. Jalen Hurts up the middle, tush push, brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. That tied the game 10-10. That was a 12-play drive for the Eagles, 73 yards. That lasted just under 5 minutes. And then, of course, what I'm looking at here right now, but I think I'm looking at some wacky stuff here. I'm trying to follow along with the scoring. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, all right. Then the Bengals kicked the field goal in the third quarter. You had, man, I can't even follow what's going on in the scoring here, man. All sorts of backwards. All right, let's take this back from the top. Take it to the tippy top. Can't look at the scoring. It's all over the place. All right. But then you had Jalen Hurts with another touchdown, another run, a 7-yard run. That's a little more than your tush push there. He went to the right on that one, and then Jake Elliott with your extra point. But then Chase Brown, he got one of those rare rushing touchdowns for the Bengals. Play of the game, in my opinion. Jalen Hurts throws a YOLO ball in the middle of the field. Yes, the middle of the field, deep middle, right, and the ball landed right in the end zone. Devontae Smith put his hands up high, came down with a 45-yard touchdown. And then after Jake Elliott's extra point, the Eagles took a 24-17 lead. And then it was all birds in the fourth quarter. Jake Elliott tacks on another 3 with a 49-yard field goal, made it 27-17. Jalen Hurts with his third rushing touchdown of the game, another push-tush brotherly shove to make it 33-17. Jake Elliott's extra point makes it 34. And then Jake Elliott tacks on another 3 points. Great game by Jake Elliott here, 47-yard field goal, makes it 37-17. And that was all she wrote for the Bengals and the Birds. Offensive clinic, rushing clinic. Great to see. I'm a fan. I like it. I like it. Oh, my man Earl's on here checking in, saying good afternoon. What's going on, Earl? Make sure you check Earl out on the Hardcore Sports Network as well. Gives you that great wrestling content. Excuse me. And Adam's saying tied for first for now. Is that Saquon we're talking about? Earl, appreciate it, buddy. It's channel liked. My man Eric checking in. What's up, bro? He says, how do you feel about Sirianni now? I'm fine with Sirianni as long as he lets his guys do what they're supposed to do. Don't leave points on the board. Take the points when you can get them. I didn't see any opportunities where the Eagles squandered points in this game. Sirianni gets another week. He gets a pass by me this week. I'm not going to rip him. Say, yo, man, Sirianni sucks, bro. Devontae Smith due for a good game, says Mitch. Yeah, man. And it was nice to see, man. Beautiful ball by Hurts and catch by Devontae Smith. It was nice to see that. I believe that I was thinking of Fandango. I was thinking of the wrestler here for a second. Adam C saying Fangio made some big adjustments this halftime, got those 2 turnovers. Yeah, and we need that. Look, you start off slow. The offense, defense, make those adjustments. If they're able to do that, we're going to be in some games. We're going to win some games. Are we going to win the Super Bowl? I can't say that. I don't know about that. but I think we're a better team than we were 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Now we just won three in a row. So let's go. Let's roll with that momentum. Hang your hat on that. Checking out here some of these notes. Talked about that YOLO ball. Okay, so let's talk about that defense there. So you had Isaiah Rodgers coming in for Darius Slay, who left the game with some type of injury, lower body injury. I don't know what happened there. Rodgers comes in his place, tips the flexible, which then CJ picks up, intercepts before going out of bounds. So you got two takeaways from Philly today. Coming into the game, they only had two all year. So this defense needs to play solid. We need them to make plays. Having two takeaways prior to this game is not acceptable. So you can build off today's game, build off today's win. You got two takeaways. All right, let's keep it up. It was a great game today. It was a clinic. I didn't see many mistakes from the Eagles at all, if any. If there's any weakness right now on this team, you know, the defense bend but don't break. Okay, the special teams has not been very good for the Eagles. It's not been good under Mike Clay this season. So let's see if they can tighten that up. Tighten that up. Now we're cooking. Now we got all three dimensions working for the team. Your special team, your offense, your defense. Let's take a look at this box score here. Talked about Jalen Hurts, went 16 to 20, 236 with a one tutty, three rushing touchdowns. Saquon Barkley had 22 rushes, 108 rush yards. That's almost 5 yards a carry. And then Kenneth Gainwell, he chipped in some rushing there just to compliment Barkley. We know it's Barkley's show. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, top receiving duo in the league, in my opinion. Right? Is there a better one? They talk about Jamar Chase and Higgins. Devontae Smith went 6 for 85 and a tutty. The YOLO ball. A.J. Brown made his presence felt in the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts used that middle. That's all. If you're going to limit yourself to the sidelines, as a whole 66% of the field there you're not using. 5 for 84 for A.J. Brown. Greg Calcaterra, 3 for 58. Better than Dallas Goedert. I mean, is Dallas Goedert going to be a free agent after this year? Is there a reason to keep him? I don't know. And then Jake Stoll, I believe, got hurt as well. So the only tight end we had playing was Calcaterra, unless Stoll came back. Barkley also chipped in one catch for 3 yards. And take a look at the Bengals side. So Joe Burrow, again, 26 for 37, 234, and a touchdown and an interception. Not that great of a game for him. Chase Brown rushing the football. You don't have anything. 12 for 32 and a touchdown. Joe Burrow. One thing I can say about Joe Burrow, I mean, he's looking really spry this season. They talked about Joe Burrow being more mobile. He worked on that in the offseason. Just 2 weeks ago, he rushed for a 47-yard touchdown run. That's not typical of Joe Burrow, but, it seems like he added another element to his game. Joe Burrow is a great player, but couldn't do anything today. And they were minus Higgins. That hurt. But yeah, we were minus stuff too. Mike Gesicki, uh, offensive tight end only. He's not much of a blocker at all. That's why he's bounced around. 7 receptions for 73 yards. He stepped in admirably in Higgins' absence. Jamar Chase, he went 9 for 54 with a touchdown. And then nothing more really notable to talk about there for the Bengals offensively. All right, let's see. So coming up for the Eagles, I'm just going to run down their schedule real quick. This is where I got to 11 wins, guys. You chime in or not, let me know. I'm curious what everybody thinks. So today's win because there's 5 wins. Next week, Jacksonville at home. And we ain't losing that game. That's 6-2. At Dallas, I could see them losing that game. So I'll just say that's a loss. 6-3. Washington at home. I'll say that's a win. 7-3. At the Rams. At the Rams. All right, let me see. I'm going to say that's a win. So it's what? 8-3. 8-3. At Baltimore, that's a loss. 8-4. Carolina at home, that's a win. That's 9. Versus Pittsburgh at home, I'm going to say that's a loss. So now you're what? 10-4. At Washington, 10-5. And then you get Dallas at home. So we take that Dallas game at home. Shoot, is that 11? I got at 12. I don't know what happened. I got to 12 now. Now I'm at 12 because then you got the Giants. This is your last game of the season. That's at home. I don't think we're losing that game. So I just say 12. Let me roll through this again. Make sure I'm not crazy. Math is not my subject. So Jacksonville to give you 6 wins. At Dallas, you lose. Washington at home. That's 7. At the Rams, it's 8. At Baltimore is 9. I'm sorry, that's a loss. Carolina is a win. That's 9. Pittsburgh at home, 10, 11. Now I'm all over the place. So is it 11 or 12 now? I don't know. But anyway, with that, I appreciate everybody checking in today. First show on the Hardcore Sports Network. The Eagles landing zone. The bird has landed here. My man Michael checking in and saying, hey, what's going on, Michael? How are you, buddy? Great win today for the Birds. We'll see you on that next week. Make sure you hit the like button there. Look at that banner. Hit the like and subscribe. We'll check you all next time. Take care, everyone. Peace.